So good evening, everybody, and welcome to Norton Christian Spiritualist Church. We'll try again. We thought we'd gone live and we hadn't, so let's just try it again. So good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome this evening along with us, Madame Csaszar. If you'd like to say hello, Joanne.
Hello. Good evening.
So Joanne is with us again in November. She is going to be doing us a workshop again on the tea leaf readings. Now, this was a big success last time at Norton, and we are so lucky because we have been given the exclusivity to this. So it's really nice to be given that. So we do appreciate that, Joanne. But I just want to let you all know before I ask Joanne to introduce herself again for people who haven't met her. Saturday, the 16th of November, as you can see on your screens now, is the actual workshop. So that'll be learning how to do tea leaf readings with Joanne and exploring it. But also on the Sunday, which we'll dive into a little bit after we've discussed the workshop, she's going to be doing one-to-one readings as well in church on the Sunday. So you will be able to book a place and things like that. But we'll dive into that a little bit just afterwards and explain what that's all about. So, Joanne, would you please, for the second time, introduce yourself, please?
Hello, everybody. My name is Madame Csaszar. For over 36 years now, I've been demonstrating mediumship in churches. And some of you go, well, I've never heard of it. But I've actually had two other names as well. So you might have heard by one of my other names, but predominantly around Surrey and then what's it called? Home counties, and then around Yorkshire. So I love doing the mediumship, the evidential mediumship. I love the divine services. And outside of church, my first love has got to be tea leaf reading. And I love teaching. I've also got a teaching qualification. And so that's what I do is I either teach people in small groups at bases away from churches, or I come into churches and I offer a full day's tea leaf reading workshop to bring out the best in you. So yeah, you can ask me any other questions if I've not told you enough.
And by the way, while we are on live here, if you do think of anything that you want to ask about, please put it in the comments. I am monitoring Facebook on my phone, so I'm not being ignorant, not listening to anyone, but just making sure that the comments are picked up if there is any as well. So Joanne, what would you say to anyone new that's thinking of doing this workshop? Obviously, because we've got people who might be experienced mediums that want to come along, but then we might have someone who's complete novice to it. Yeah. What would you say to the novice?
Yeah, I would say to a complete novice, come along, because you will surprise yourself at how much you can get out of the tea leaf readings and the messages that you can share and the accuracy of those messages. My role as the teacher facilitator for the day is to help build your confidence, build your skills, and then join in with all the excitement and the oohs and the ahs of success. Yeah. And if I hear somebody say, well, I never, then I know we've had a massive success. But to be honest, people who are absolute beginners, or maybe their granny or their auntie, or, you know, maybe the granddad was a tea leaf reader, then it will come out because spirit sort of tea leaf reading is predominantly psychic, but there's also a spiritual aspect to it where spirits see the chance to join in and have their two penneth. Yeah. And so they will come in and they'll influence us as guides, helpers and inspirers as well. So yeah, if you've got no experience and you just want to have a go, come along, you will astonish yourself. If you are a practicing medium, then I need to say to you to forget everything you've learned, because this comes in at a completely different angle.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's fun. It is fun. It is very enjoyable. And if that, if the experience is not enjoyable, at least every now and then I tell everybody a tale of my experiences with tea leaf reading, and we have a giggle.
Yeah.
So it's a good community spirited day.
Yeah.
And
I think the thing is when we did the workshop back at the beginning of the year as well, didn't we? It was absolutely amazing what came out of it. What people had said that they'd gained from it and things like that. So obviously you're gonna have your teacups with you on the day, aren't you?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You'll have your Joanne brings a tea as well for you. So then obviously all you've got to do is turn up. But I remember this one, don't come in good clothes. Because
right.
if you spill it on yourself, you'll wreck your clothes. So make sure that you're wearing clothes that you feel comfortable in, but you're not bothered about staining them with tea if you spill it.
Now, come on, let's be honest, Chris. We're not throwing tea around.
No.
It's just that because we get faster and we maybe become a little bit complacent or a bit too confident in our ability, it just one momentary lapse.
Yeah.
And it's not a huge amount of tea, but it's enough to stain either your white clothes or your decent clothes. So wear something darker, maybe something a little bit older, that if we do have an accident, you're not going to get upset about and want to rush and wash it out and then have nothing to wear.
Exactly that. But the worst thing is a stain, isn't it, in your clothes at the end of the day? That's what you don't want.
Yeah.
So, do attendees need to bring anything with them on the day then?
They need to bring a happy disposition. If they've had a bit of a disaster on the way, or the family have been disruptive before they've left the house, we'll deal with that in the first 10 minutes as they arrive, and we do the registrations. We get that out of our system. We put our phones away, other than to take photographs of what we've done. But, happy disposition. Oh, and a packed lunch.
Yeah.
Bring your lunch with you. If I remember correctly, that the hot waters for hot drinks and cold drinks were available all day. We don't stop for formal tea breaks. We negotiate when we're going to have lunch break. I like mine at 10:30. Second breakfast. But there is, as long as you fetch something to eat, you'll be all right. Yeah.
And then I think one of the things that they're probably thinking of is, what are we going to walk away from the day?
What you're going to take away with you?
What they're going to take away. Yeah.
Right. Well, in my plan, and basically, if I have a plan for teaching, if we need to change it, if we need to slow down or speed up, because different people work at different paces, but we will be covering a brief history. We'll be looking at the science behind tea leaf reading, because there is a science. It's been shown. We'll look at the skills you need, and we'll have some warm-up exercises around that. And some of those warm-up exercises actually translate into other areas of mediumship and psychic work as well. So it'll help elsewhere. We look at techniques, and then it's practice, 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 practice. As many practices as we can get in. We'll keep moving around with your buddies, so you're not reading for the same person twice. If we can get it right, you're not reading for one of your friends as well. So if we get the full numbers, you will have practice readings with complete strangers. And at the very end of the day, what we do is an experiment, and we invite spirit to join in that last tea leaf reading. So even if you've never been a channel for spirit, you've never knowingly given a message from spirit, then you will be able to do that. what I do during the day is I go round and I'm coaching. Some people might have a slightly different perspective on it, so I can help them bring out the best. So everybody learns as much as they can for that day. If you walk away and you go, oh, well, I didn't enjoy that, I'm going to guarantee you've met a new friend, if nothing else. And it might just be me.
I love one of the questions that's just coming on Facebook here, and I'm not going to name the person, but they've put,
Well, I can have a look afterwards, can't I?
do you have to drink the tea?
No, no. Oh, no, we'd be all day if
You'd be on the toilet
drinking
all
tea.
day, wouldn't you?
So we'd have to have some portaloos brought in, wouldn't we? But
We've got
no,
toilet facilities, we're all right.
it's just a little bit of tea and a little bit of water.
Yeah.
And it just speeds up the process, but it gives us enough to be able to follow the exercises and the practice readings. Yeah, but
I
good
love the fact
question.
that someone's asked that question though, because otherwise you'd be thinking, oh my goodness, am I going to be drinking tea all day today?
Yeah. If I find that somebody is really, really good at it, I'll do something to challenge them. So somewhere in my box, I'll find either a different blend of tea that's more difficult to read, or I might actually have some coffee grinds in my box. And I'll get them to try coffee grinds, which is quite different to tea leaf. Well, it's the same but different.
So you're in for a treat there then, because you could even end up reading coffee grinds. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I always remember my grandma when I was a kid, she used to try and do the tea leaves. But I think she was mucking around with us being kids, you know what I mean? And stuff.
Yeah.
But she always used to give it a go because it was the old fashioned, actual tea leaves.
Yeah.
And I used to sit down and go to my mum, I don't want to be here. I don't want to drink that because I was used to tea bags, you know what I mean? But then when I've seen what you guys do, then it makes sense in a way. So yeah. So I think really we've covered everything for the workshop there then, haven't we, really?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think it's about people coming along, enjoying it, and being
Yeah.
able to just experiment with something different.
And don't be frightened of coming on your own. If you come along, you've not got a friend who wants to come with you and they'll go, oh no, I don't want to do that. Then what I'd say is please come, because it's a very inclusive setting. And if I remember correctly, last time did we have 19 ladies and one gentleman?
I think so, yeah.
And he had a hoot. He didn't feel left out at all.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't let anybody feel left out. And we do the introductions as you arrive. Yeah. My sister's going to be with me again, so she'll take time to chat to anybody and give that extra bit of guidance as well.
Yeah. And I think the thing is, as well, is I think if someone's enjoyed it that much last time and they want to come back and do it again, there's nothing wrong with that either, is there really?
Absolutely, because the classroom part, I think we did it. Did we do it in about an hour and a quarter last time? It's a very short, serious side to it. And then we're experimenting.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you've been before, there is no harm in coming again, because the tea leaves in those cups and the people you're reading for will be different.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it'll be a refreshing refresher.
And the thing is, as well, as for the educational part, if you want to take notes or anything, you're more than welcome to bring along pens and paper and things like that. Take notes, because I know people were doing that last time they came, just for guidance and things. So please make sure that you do, if you want to take notes, that you bring pen and paper along with you. If you forget it, don't worry though, the church has got pen and paper, so it can give you a pen and paper. So just to wrap up on the workshop part then, so the workshop will be taking place on Saturday the 16th of November.
Yeah.
That'll be a 10 o'clock start. And go on.
I would say arrivals from 9:30.
Yes. Yeah, arrivals 9:30. What we do ask though is that you try and get there between 9:30 and 9:45. So you can get yourselves in, get settled, get a cup of tea, get to know the people, get yourself comfortable and just relax, because that's what we want you to do there. We want you to come in and feel nice and relaxed and enjoy yourselves. The cost for the workshop is £25 for members and £30 for non-members. We do require a £10 non-refundable deposit as well. Now, if you are living out of area and you want to attend this workshop, you can do so. Sorry, I don't know if you need the dog there or not, but you can do so by messaging the Facebook page. We will not message you directly asking for any bank details or anything like that. If you contact us, we will provide you with the bank details to send your deposit to. You can pay the remainder of the cost on the day when you turn up at church. So all we require on the night is the actual non-refundable deposit when you contact us initially. I'm going to kill my dog in a minute. So yeah, so that is the workshop in a sense. So now what we're going to do is we're going to, sorry, I've just had to nick it off him because he's distracting me like heck. Now what we're going to do is we're going to talk about Sunday. So Sunday the 17th of November, I'm correct in saying that, yes?
Yes.
We are going to be offering, for one day only, Joanne is going to be with us and she is actually going to be holding a one-to-one readings session, and that's going to be for half an hour per booking, and that will be £25 a person. Readings will start at 10:30 and we'll finish, the last reading will be 2:30 in the afternoon. I'm going to let Joanne explain what the readings are going, how she's going to do them and things, because obviously I don't know that information and Joanne knows what she's going to be doing there. So I'll hand that bit over to you to explain.
Right. So when I do tea leaf readings, the Talking Teacups collection is there for you. The choice of cup has an influence on your reading. So we'll be picking 2 cups. One talks about, one will be what you feel prepared to talk about, and that's chosen by, we find that by the way that you pick that cup. The other cup is picked in a different sort of technique, and that tells us what we need to talk about. So sometimes those cups are similar in their meaning, and sometimes they are absolute opposites, and the latter becomes very challenging. So with the cup that you choose first, the one that you are prepared to talk about, put a little bit of tea, a little bit of water, gives you some instructions, turn the cup out, and then I will be looking for past, present, future, significant others, what makes you you. Some people leave me a lot in the area where I'd be looking for home life, and what's going off there. But absolutely anything can come out in a tea leaf reading. There are very likely to be portraits of your loved ones in spirit, and I will give them all at least a mention, if not allow them to draw close and basically take over the reading, telling us what they think.
So that's basically what Joanne's going to be offering you on the Sunday. So again, just to reiterate that, that'll be £25 per reading, and it'll be for a half an hour reading. It'll be held in the church at Norton. If you do want to book a space on that, you can contact myself directly. I will take the bookings for it. I will have a separate conversation offline with Joanne to see how we're going to proceed with confirming your booking and things like that, whether there's a deposit or anything to take with that. And there will be a poster coming out for the one-to-one readings as well, just so people are seeing it and things. So there'll be a separate poster to come for that. So as I say, I'll just give you a quick reminder. The first reading will be at 10:30 a.m. The last reading will be at 2:30 p.m. on the afternoon. I've seen Joanne do the Talking Teacups, so I would highly recommend you going along if you're able to and taking advantage of having one of them readings, because it is definitely something unique and something different. And we don't really get Joanne a lot in the area, so we have to use and abuse while we've got you, don't we? Otherwise, we won't get it until probably next year again when she comes back. So these events that are happening next month are really because we're seeing a massive uptake in people wanting to do that workshop last time around and we didn't have the capacity to put more people on it. So this is why the workshop's being brought back later on in the year. We know it's getting close to Christmas, so even you might want to buy this as a Christmas present for someone. Something a bit different as a Christmas present, an early Christmas present at that, but at least you gave them a Christmas present, something different. So that is literally, I don't think I've got anything else that I need to mention. I don't know if you want to finish off with anything, Joanna, or if there's anything extra that you'd like to add to it.
Only to say I am really looking forward to coming back up again. As I say, my sister's coming with me as my assistant, as she did before, and she's really looking forward to coming back up because Norton Church is the friendliest church we have been to for such a long time. No, there's other friendly churches, but to say we were strangers walking in, we just felt like we'd walked in at our nana's, or we'd walked in at home after a long time away. It was absolutely lovely. So we're looking forward to seeing you. If you're not interested in the tea leaf reading workshop, talk to other people, and you can say, "Oh, they're having this crazy thing." I bet you find somebody who says, "Oh, I'd like to do that."
I know exactly that.
Mm.
And just while we're finishing off as well, Joanne is actually at the Elite in Middlesbrough on the Saturday night. Is that right?
I am, yes, and
Yeah.
I am doing a demonstration of tea leaf reading and the Talking Teacups. It's fast-paced, short readings, dipping in and out of cups. So yeah, I do need to double check that. So if you want to join in that, then I'd say go on the Elite webpage, Facebook page. Yeah. And there should be details of that coming up soon. I don't know how much they charge for tickets.
Yeah.
So that's a big fundraiser for them.
Yeah, and it's also another opportunity to see Joanne work in a different way. It's a shame we can't have Joanne on the Sunday night, but we've got a medium currently booked in that we couldn't cancel. So, but Joanne will be back next year and she'll be on the platform again next year. So that this is just a nice visit to come up, and I wouldn't say relax because it's not going to be relaxing for you, but it's going to be a visit where people are going to be able to get onto the workshop if they're interested in it, and get through it, but also get to see you in a couple of places as well. So it'll be lovely for you to do that. So I want to thank Joanne for taking her time out to do this again for us this evening. So thank you, Joanne.
You're welcome.
And I think we'll both say thank you to everyone who's been watching as well
for
joining us this evening, and we will see you soon.
All right then. Thank you very much. Good night and God bless everybody.
Take care, everyone. Good night.